Hello and welcome. We're going to get into another video. Today we're going to talk about the top teams in the Open Great League, and apologies for not posting it earlier because I am too busy moving out into another province and I just don't have the time or like the equipments. My house is an entire mess. So apologies for not posting it last week. So I'm going to post it now. There will be another one for Master League Premier as well. So if you are someone who come to the channel for those videos, well, there will be more. But I think next week there won't be a video. I'm trying my best, but I don't think I can. So top teams in the Open Great League. So last week, well, this past week, we have Great League as the main Open League, and next week it's also going to be Open League as well, Open Great League. And I looked into the meta. It looks kind of similar to the last one we had, with the slight change of Mimikyu. Mimikyu has just entered the Open Great League. Well, we've had it for a while, but technically it wasn't eligible because Mimikyu technically has a third shield. Like, you have two shields and Mimikyu can unshield, like doesn't need to shield one of the charge moves because that's his main signature ability, where like he's just gonna block a charge move in the Great League. And Niantics thought that that can't happen because it's just way too powerful, but now it can happen. I don't know what changed, but I don't think it's a bad thing, to be honest. I tried Mimikyu, it's kind of busted. The typing of Mimikyu is also busted. It's a ghost that can beat the dark because it's subtyping fairy. It destroys the dragons. I don't know what is like Mimikyu lose to, like that is as strong in the meta. Technically, you want things that are spammy because you want Mimikyu to not use the shield. Well, like as an example, if you use something like a Quagsire, okay, the Aqua Tail, it's not something you shield, right? But the moment you decide to not shield, then it will go to his ability, and then if you don't use the shield, Mimikyu will take double the damage because whenever like he blocks a charge move with his ability, his defense drops harshly, right? So that's the main thing. You want to use spammy Pokemons to counter it. So if you take a look at PvP, you can see that Mimikyu is number 1, followed by Lickilicky, then Tinkaton, then Altaria, then Empoleon, then Altaria Shadow, then Empoleon Shadow, then Quagsire, then Jellicent, Fortress, Ninetales. I think the most annoying Pokemon here is Mimikyu, followed by Ninetales. Ninetales just so freaking annoying in the current meta. It's just so fast to get to a charge move. Also has an insane coverage because now you just run, I think, Wither Ball, Energy Ball. Like, one is super effective into the water or the grind type, which is supposed to hard counter the Ninetales, right? But the main thing is, like, the only eligible waters are Mud Boys, which is Quag and Swamp. Well, the things that people are using, and those Pokemons get one-shotted by Ninetales, so it's technically not a counter anymore. So you're technically forced to use a dragon if you want to beat Ninetales, because the dragons are the only thing that can actually wall the canine. In fact, I actually use Kingdra in the Open Great League, and there is a Kingdra team, the team I actually use right now. So if you guys want to know what team I use, just make sure you stick around. All of these Pokemons are kind of good in the Great League. Like, as an example, you don't see Dusknoir in the Open Great League top 10 ranking, but Dusknoir is so good because it can farm down the Mimikyu, like all the way down with the Sucker Punch, right? Sucker Punch is just a very oppressive, fast move. Like, it does so much damage. About Mandibuzz, I don't know, but things that are spammy, or like things that do ghost fast move and resist the ghost fast move. Okay, so things like no, not Ferret, the other Ferret, the flipped Ferret. What's his name? Linatoon, something like that. Linatoon, no. Oh my god, I just said Linatoon. No, Linoon, because Linoon does have a Shadow Claw, which does super effective to Mimikyu and double resist the incoming Shadow Claw from the Mimikyu. So that's like the ultimate nightmare for something like Mimikyu. I don't know about things like Feraligatr. Feraligatr is actually busted, but the thing is, Mimikyu is just tanky, and technically you need something that can farm it all the way down, or you just need something that does well into it overall. Like, people are just using, I think, Lickilicky as a way to counter it, because yes, you're throwing body slams, and the thing about it is, like, you actually throw body slam because you don't want them to shield, and then if they don't shield, their defense drop partially. So that's like the main trick about it. Just use Lickilicky and throw a body slam because they won't shield it, right? Because it's not worth it. And then the defense drop partially, and then the fast moves start adding up. So these are like the Pokemon that people use, but in my opinion, what are the strongest teams in the current Open Great League? And the strongest team must have a Mimikyu. So we're not going to start with top 3 PvP, we're just going to start with a Mimikyu team. So Mimikyu, as I said, is weak to things like Lickilicky. So how do we beat Lickilicky? With Ninetales? No, Ninetales also lose to Lickilicky. So we need a Jumpluff to beat Lickilicky, right? Yeah. So this team is technically very vulnerable to Lickilicky, but against everything, you just beat everything else. Like, that's what I found. Like, this team is just so freaking good. But against Lickilicky, you have to play around it. Like, those body slams. What I saw is, like, I saw people just... If you lead into Lickilicky, just do 4 Shadow Claws and then go to K9. And then try to split the damage from Lickilicky, and then Mimikyu will later sweep the entire game. Now remember, like, things like Jumpluff takes the super effective from Rollout, yes, but Body Slam is not the greatest charge move. But like something like Jumpluff has Acrobatic, which is a busted charge move. Now, PvPoke thinks that this is the best team, but I do think the best team is something like this, to be honest. It's like Tinkaton with Quagsire. But is this going to be the team I use? No. I just wanted to mention that Tinkaton with Kingdra is a busted duo. I tried it myself. It's freaking good. I have very great results with it. So if you need something like generalists, like a bunch of Pokemons that don't get walled, well, this thing gets walled by Azu, I'm aware. But you have 2 Pokemons that can do fine into the Azu. Now, I know that Lickilicky is kind of annoying into this, but Lickilicky has technically non-stab Earthquake, which is like you can split that damage. I think Lickilicky is still annoying, but Tinkaton into Lickilicky, I looked into that matchup. If you shield an Earthquake, it's playable. Well, it's very good actually if you shield an Earthquake. If they shield your Bulldoze, it's also very playable. The worst case scenario as a Tinkaton, if you no-shield the EQ and they no-shield your Bulldoze. So you don't want that thing to happen. But you guys know me. I always compliment something like that top 3 PvPoke. And the top 3 PvPoke team is Lickilicky, Tinkaton, Mimikyu. If you are someone who just need a team to play and have some decent results with it, I would say that this is actually the best team. This team is nuts. The problem with this team is that it's just too tanky, doesn't hit hard, but it should guarantee you 3-2 sets at least. But if you're so good at the game, you can get lots of 5-0s because you can use Mimikyu and then to shield it, and those 2 in the back, they just don't get to use any shield. Like, you just use them to soak the damage and dish out as much damage as possible, and Mimikyu will be able to do something with the Shadow Claws. I found that the best way to play this team is like you lead Mimikyu and you catch the first charge move they throw. Okay, so that's like the best way into playing it. But Yasser, what do you play? Well, you guys know me, I'm a Dragonite fan. I love using a Dragonite. I do think that this is the best Dragonite team, which is Dragonite, Diggersby, and Tinkaton. It's a very solid team. You have 2 tanky Pokemons and you have 1 that hits very hard. Now with the nerf to Dragon, well, with the change to Dragon Claw, Dragonite became a bit different. Now you have to use, I think, Thunderbolt. Oh my god, Thunder Punch and Superpowered. So technically no more dragon damage. So if you lead something like Altaria, it's gonna be a tough day. Like, that's all I can tell you. But if you don't have a Dragonite, you can just replace a Dragonite with Feraligatr. I think this is also a very decent team. Now, the main thing about Diggersby is that it destroys Lickilicky. It destroys Tinkaton as well. And it's just very good of a neutral Pokemon. Like, if you lead into any neutral matchup, most likely you're going to win because Diggersby is just such a beast. And Feraligatr is going to be the Pokemon that you use basically to like dish out as much fast move damage as possible. So it's basically like a hard-hitting Pokemon and 2 tanks. That's like the main thing about this team. Now, you could also use something like Malamar. I looked into it. I think Malamar is very interesting, and I'm surprised that people stopped using it. Like, what's the worst thing that Malamar can see? Tinkaton, yeah, you can superpower and dip easily, and then superpowers with the Psycho, with the Psy Wave can do like half of the Tinkaton's health. Like, trust me, it's an annoying matchup to the Tinkaton as well. Now, if you don't have a Dragonite, I think Altaria is one decent Pokemon. Now, except that you don't run Diggersby with Altaria like similar to Dragonite. Here, we can run Diggersby because Dragonite is so frail, so we need to add some bulk here and there. But with Altaria, since Altaria is bulky, you can just use a Swampert as your Mud Boy of choice. You can also use Shadow Quag. I used this team with Shadow Quag. I kind of like the Shadow Quag even more than Swampert. But, something to mention. Quag into the Flyers is a bit annoying because Stone Edge is more expensive when it comes to energy than Sludge, and I would have to have Sludge, to be honest, okay? Because whenever they resist the water damage, you need a charge move that is cheaper than Stone Edge, and that's where Swampert comes in, but Quag overall should be better. Universe Stunfisk is a Pokemon that people stopped using. I don't know why. I think it's still very decent. Like, you beat Tinkaton, you beat Tinkaton. Yeah, I think that's the only thing you beat. You beat Empoleon as well. And Feraligatr matchup is just annoying because you have to... well, you have to bait, I would assume, because like the Hydro Cannon does a lot. Once they land the Hydro Cannon, they will try to catch your charge move. That's how it always go. I saw like a 3-star, well, it's not a 3-star team. I played into this team, which is like basically 3 Pokemons that are average bulk. They hit hard enough where like you don't care about anything else. Moving into Corviknight, I know that people stopped using Corviknight. I think Corviknight is still decent. But if you're into Corviknight, I think this is the best Corviknight team. Corviknight with a Mud Boy is a must, and then the third is up to you. Lickilicky could be the third. I know I talked about this Lego team last time, but I still haven't had the chance to try it. So if you guys tried this team, please let me know. And that's it for the top teams in the Open Great League. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.